Greetings. My name is Steve Hall. I'm the Vice President and Head of Small Business Lending at Local Initiative Support Corporation, also known as LISC. Today we're doing a webinar called Borrowing from LISC for small businesses. Today we're going to tell you a little bit about who we are. We're going to talk about some of the products that we offer, and we're also going to discuss our process. And after we do that, we'll give you a few case studies. Businesses like yourself that we've been able to have help and have impact for over the past few years. So with that, joining me will be my colleague, Mr. David Johnson.
Hello, I'm David Johnson, Small Business Development Officer at LISC.
Excellent. Thank you, David. LISC is one of the country's largest community development financial institutions, and we make loans for housing, small business, charter schools, and economic development. Together with our partners, we help forge resilient communities of inclusion across the country. In our 45-year history, we've invested $45 billion and leveraged $93 billion from our partners to support our ongoing mission of investing in resilient communities. With that, we still have an opportunity to support a business like yours looking for help or technical assistance, either through our lending products, our innovative investment products, our business development organizations, or our Small Business Digital Ready platform sponsored by Verizon. Now, what's important about LISC is not only do we partner with a number of organizations, but we have boots on the ground in a market near you. We've invested from Hawaii all the way down to Florida and all the way up to Maine. We will continue to serve the markets best when we find an opportunity that fits for us. And if not, we'll refer it to one of our business development organizations that we partner with across the country. But our goal today is to really, not only share about our products and our process, but hope you find an opportunity to see yourself within our products and our process and the case studies that we'll present later during this discussion. David?
Thank you, Steve. LISC provides loans starting at $100,000 to traditionally under-resourced small business owners. Through our flexible underwriting and loan terms, we provide loans to help businesses acquire their long-term site, make transformative updates, or provide working capital and cushion as they build on larger contracts and operate and grow. We're here for small businesses and the communities that you serve. Where we lend, as Steve mentioned, we have 37 different program offices throughout the country and also a LISC rural team that serves 2,400 counties across the country.
So, small business lending to date. So I'm really excited about the small business lending team at LISC. We've been around for about 7 years, and in that time we've deployed $56 million nationally. Relatively small part of our business, but it's probably one of the fastest growing segments within LISC. So far, we've helped over 100 businesses with direct loans, done loans as big as $8 million to businesses who may have had trouble securing bank financing, may have had down payment challenges, who may have had prior credit challenges, which may or may not have impacted the opportunity for them to receive capital from a traditional financial institution. Most of the time, we want people to know that we kind of underwrite the same, but we decision differently. So when we look at an opportunity, we try to make sure that we can help that business find an opportunity to get the capital that they seek, but more importantly, be able to secure capital from a bank at a later time. We call this the path to bankability. David?
Thank you, Steve. The basic eligibility for small businesses that we work with are one, that they are at least 2 years in operation. Another is that annual revenues are at $250,000 or above. And lastly, that they have demonstrated cash flow to be able to support the loan. We look at both the historical cash flow and also what their projections look like going forward, which is one of our unique factors and values that we provide, is working very hands-on with the business owner to understand their pipeline, their projections, and what that future performance could look like to make sure our loan fits into that. So our process at LISC starts with an intake process. So a business owner meets with the LISC business development officer or program officer to do an initial assessment of their financial situation and look at things like tax returns and interim financials, but also to understand what the capital need is. So all that documentation is compiled and put together, and the LISC staff is working with the business owner to understand their operations, their competitive advantage, their projections, and putting everything into a package so that we can make a determination with our credit committee on what a responsible and impactful loan amount could be. Steve?
Thank you, David. And when it gets to our credit process, we have a team of talented individuals who work really, really hard to take what you have shared and turn it into a credit presentation. That presentation, as David shared, includes, your tax returns, your interim financials, what is the purpose of your loan? Maybe it's construction or some, specific purchase you want to make, or working capital. But either way, we use our experience to try to help ascertain, why was this loan not approved at a bank, and why would we be the right place for your loan? Now, during that process, one of the things we do is we do what's called a credit preview discussion, where our small business underwriter, small business development officer, and program officer meet with senior leadership to figure out, how can we really help this business and what opportunities and challenges we may have. After that credit preview discussion, we work to present that to our credit officer for final consideration. Now, we enjoy this opportunity because what we do is, through the process, we provide timely feedback to a would-be borrower to make sure that they understand what challenges we may have. Sometimes during this process, we will request additional information. And when we do, it's only because we're trying to clarify something that we may misunderstand to give you the best opportunity for an approval. If approved, we will, pass you off to our closing team, and our closing team will work diligently to close your loan within 30 days. Real estate may take a little bit longer, but, most real estate loans do, and we do a lot of real estate loans. But what I wanted to share is our commitment to informing you through the process is extremely important. We want you to understand what we can and what limitations we may have. But in the event that you are declined, we will inform you also. Sometimes we may say no for a request you make at this particular time, but that doesn't mean it's no forever. We're really trying to find a way to get you to an approval. Sometimes we require you to get some additional technical assistance. Sometimes we require you to update your accounting. Sometimes we require you to, potentially, find a partner or think of something different to help, because we all have some great opportunities, but sometimes we just need some additional help if we're going to take on more and more opportunity. So with that, at closing, you become one of our customers, and we really, really are excited about that, and we assign you to one of our asset managers. That asset manager's role is to make sure that you have someone who you can connect with through the life of your loan when you have questions and opportunities that will be there for you to kind of help you and your business grow. Loan products. When you go to a community development financial institution, sometimes we look at the loan products, and they probably have the same name as a general number of bank products. We have working capital loans, which are loans that are used for inventory, they're used to pay for staffing, they're used for marketing. They're used for things that tend to revolve faster. A lot of times when you get a big purchase order or an opportunity to do business with the government or a big corporation, you need to finance that opportunity. That's usually working capital. If you have a retail store and you want to make sure you have inventory for the upcoming holiday season, that's working capital. If you run a child care facility and you need money for staffing or to pay for, let's say, compliance or certification, that too is working capital. Fortunately, we want you to kind of let us know your need first, and we'll be able to translate what product that is for you. If you can understand, working capital could mean a lot of things. The other thing that we do is we do construction and leasehold improvement lending. What we have learned is some banks don't want to do construction projects under $1 million. It's a lot of work and a lot of effort, and it requires a great deal of experience and support if you are to pursue projects like that. It could be a simple leasehold improvement for a restaurant. It can be a capital improvement for a child care facility. It could be a ground up facility for a shipping and distribution company. But either way, we're going to leverage our expertise to make sure that you have the best opportunity to do a leasehold improvement or construction project. And last, our favorite product is commercial real estate. Every day, we are very conscious of what's going on in the communities that we serve. We find that entrepreneurs are struggling to pay the rent and have very few opportunities to buy the asset that their business is currently operating out of. But it's our goal to take you, the business owner, and make you also the real estate owner. Only way you can really control the price of rent for your business is if you own the building. Doesn't mean you get to control the taxes. That's up to the county. But we do want you to be able to know when the exit is for you and your business. And when you sell your business, give you an opportunity to sell the building also. So we take a lot of pride in doing commercial real estate. We are 85% loan to value for the most part, which is similar to SBA in some cases. But there are times we have different programs which help with down payment assistance. There are some programs that we offer where we can go to 90 and sometimes even greater than that. But our goal is to make sure that you get the best opportunity and best information to provide an opportunity for you to invest in your community through commercial real estate. So with that, I'll go back to my colleague, David. David, would you like to tell people some examples of some businesses that we've worked with?
Thank you, Steve. Yes, one of our favorite small business owners that we've worked with is a child care operator in Glendale, Arizona, called Promesas de Esperanza. The business is owned by Summer Palacios, who had 15 years of experience working in the public school system and then decided to open her own child care facility. Child care lending is also near and dear to our hearts at LISC, and we have an internal team that's focused on technical assistance as well as the lending that we can do to child care operators. Summer was seeking funding to build out a commercial kitchen in her facility. That commercial kitchen would help her to reduce costs and also increase revenue streams. And she secured a $100,000 loan from LISC in order to complete the build out. As an emerging business owner, Summer was not able to access more traditional forms of funding. But throughout the LISC underwriting process, we worked with her to, again, understand what her base historical operations had been from her first few years of operation, and also to understand what that would look like on a projected basis going forward and how something like a commercial kitchen would positively impact her financial position by reducing those costs and increasing her revenue streams. Steve, would you like to share some other examples of businesses we worked with?
So in Houston, Texas, we helped a business called Tranquil Clinical Research. They do scientific studies on various different opportunities where medicine can improve the lives of the citizens in that community. So Tranquil was looking for a partner who can kind of expand their existing financing. They did actually have a loan from a bank. The bank did feel that because they were a clinical research company, they really couldn't expand the type of capital they needed. So we took an opportunity to pay off the bank loan and increase the loan to an amount to help them really grow their business. As a result of our first loan, they were able to take on more business. Then we provided a second loan because they expanded to take up more space to do more studies. And then, you're not going to believe this, but they landed a massive government contract based on their ability to, provide, good studies about the impact of certain pharmaceuticals on communities across the country. So if you can imagine, if they did not have that capital from that first opportunity, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to expand, and they probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to get that big government contract. But we understood the opportunity, and we saw a unique opportunity to expand their current capital to allow them to take on more contracts, to hire more staff and ultimately expand their facility, which first loan was working capital, the second loan was leasehold improvements. Both of them led to this massive government contract. And as I shared earlier, one of our greatest opportunities when we do commercial real estate lending. I'm always surprised when I am in great states across our country where entrepreneurs are in low to moderate income communities working really, really hard to serve the residents in those communities. And most of the time, they're renters. They're in communities where, let's say, the appraisal values aren't as consistent as they are in higher end communities. Let's say the space they're operating out of uniquely may need to be updated with capital improvements. But the businesses that operate in those communities, they are loved by the residents there. Portola Pharmacy, we helped in Los Angeles, California, and they were right around the corner from a place that they purchased, and they were looking for additional space and parking for their facility. They have been serving this community for over 20 years within a really small space, and the owner of the building was not willing to sell. They kept going up on the rent in that particular facility, and it was really, really hard for them to forecast how long will they be able to stay in that community because of the rising rental rates. Now, they found a building right around the corner. We were able to help them secure that building that had plenty of space for parking, plenty of space for people to come into the lobby and sit with their families, and had space for private visits if you want to meet with the pharmacist. The pharmacist has been a staple in this community for years, and this is a really unique opportunity for them to get a building that not only would house their business, but allow them to have other tenants as well to kind of offset the risks of buying the property. They also were uniquely qualified for another program we had at LISC that helped with down payment assistance from one of our funders. We were really, really excited about this opportunity because the community didn't lose their pharmacists. They just gained more space and opportunity. We hope that this could be an opportunity for you also to move your business into a space that would be uniquely yours, and you can control the future and success of your business. Now, I'm really, really thankful about the opportunity we've had today to kind of talk about not only who we are, talk about our customers, talk about our process, and definitely talk about our products. But more importantly, we wish we have an opportunity to talk to you about who you are, what your business does, and how we can help your business. We only grow by helping people, and we can grow by helping you. So when you get an opportunity, feel free to reach out at us. You can find us at www.lisc.org, and that's our website, and look up small business lending. It's one of our 10 pillars for us to help execute our mission. And we are always looking for opportunities to support businesses like yours. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in. We'll be more than happy to answer them. Or if you would like to meet one of our small business development officers, we'll be happy to connect you with one. Thank you.